So let's take a look at some Lewis structures. The first one we're going to look at is O3. That's actually ozone. Couple things. I'm going to go through the Lewis structure rules for these because these are a little bit more complicated. First thing I want to do is count the number of valence electrons available. So I have 3 oxygens. So 3 oxygens, each one has 6 valence electrons. So I have 18 electrons total. These are the ones I'm going to use from bonding, non-bonding. Got to use some combination, and I got to get exactly 18. No more and no less. The way we start off with, we determine a central atom. In this case, they're all oxygens. The oxygen is going to be the central atom. And I always start off by drawing single bonds to the other 2 atoms. So get the central, draw single bonds to the terminal atoms, and then draw 6 electrons around each terminal atom. So 1, 2. Okay. This is always a good way to start. Let's count how many electrons I've used up right now. So I got 6 from here, 6 from there. So that's minus 12 electrons. Then I got the 2 bonds. So I got 1 bond, I got 2 bonds. Each one contains 2 electrons. So 2 and 4. And then minus 4. So right now is I got 2 electrons remaining. These 2 electrons that remain go on the central atom. They're going to go out as a pair. So I'm going to put this now on the central atom. So these always go on central. Once I've done that, let's count up how many electrons I have around the central atom. So I'm looking at this one right here. I guess label this 1, 2, and 3. So I'm looking at oxygen number 2. I have 2 electrons plus 2 bonds, so 2, 4, 6. I have 6 electrons. It needs 8. So now I got to do something different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of electrons from oxygen number 1 and move them in between 1 and 2. So when I do that, I've made a double bond. So if the central atom has less than 8, you start making double bonds, triple bonds, etc. Now one thing, so this is 1, 2, and 3. I could have just as easily taken it from oxygen number 3. In reality, it does both. So I'm going to take it from here and move them. And now what I'm going to end up with, so this is one structure. The other one, these are called resonance. So more than one type of Lewis structure. And so I can end up with this. That double bond can go on oxygen number 3. In reality, it's a combination of the 2. So in reality, it's a combination. It's going to be like 1.5 bonds between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. So it's a combination of the 2. Not one has a double and a triple. It's a combination of the 2. Now, in terms of the geometry, I'll look at the central atom. The central atom has a pair of electrons. So this kind of pushes out. And so I'm going to end up with a bent structure. So it's actually going to look something like this. And again, this one will look basically the same thing. I'm not going to go and draw it. When I have a bent structure, it's a polar model. Always, you have a bent structure, it's going to be a polar